Hi everyone, my name is Rahul and I'll be explaining about the digitalization of the entire source to pay cycle. So here first we have to understand that when we talk about source to pay cycle, it is about two cycles. One is source to contract and the second one is procure to pay. Uh, Source to contract cycle is majorly a strategic sourcing or a strategic cycle wherein we start from spend analytics and we also include the contract lifecycle management and also the e-sourcing part of it. When we talk about procure to pay cycle, it is more of a transactional or the tactical buying, which includes the various tools for automation. So the outcome which we expect with the digitalization of the S2C cycle, which is more strategic, we are expecting that it could be more predictive once we apply the digitalization to it. Similarly, when we apply the digitalization to the P2P cycle, we are expecting that the processes are more efficient because then we should make it automized or there should be automation into it. The third is supply management. Regarding supply management, when we are using the tools of digitalization, so we are expecting that we are more proactive in taking the decisions on it. So let's start one by one. So first of all, touching upon the S2C cycle, which is source to contract. Now, the spend analytics is the first process of the upstream procurement here. And what are the various benefits which we get out of digitalization here? So that will be, say, first is the data preparation or the spend categorization. So we can categorize the entire spend in BOM item wise or the line item wise, and that can be categorized whether it's a direct or indirect spend. We can also categorize it in the various categories of the buying and then the various commodities. We can also categorize it by the contribution of the commodity in the various SKUs which we are building in the manufacturing unit. We can also categorize it by the sourcing type, whether it's a ODM or a OEM, and we can categorize it supplier-wise basis the support of a Kralchik matrix tool, whether it's a strategic or it's a leverage or it's a bottleneck or it's a routine. And then we can also categorize it further as a sourcing location-wise, where the suppliers are and where are we sourcing it from. Second important thing which digitalization can do is the spend management. We can cleanse and rationalize the entire spend, what we have in the system in our existing ERP. The market intelligence, industry-wise and cross-industry-wise, can also be connected to the strategies what we are building for the with the spend analytics, and that will also give us a good insight about taking the decisions and be more predictive. The spend visualization can of course be done with this analytical tool, and and also the predictive analytics should also be there for it. Uh, then if we talk about we should be able to predict the demand with the uh, AI tools in it, and uh, also the we should be able to predict the future source of supplies with it. So this is what a digitalization of the spend analytics provide us as a benefits. Now, moving on to the contract lifecycle management. So we can create and store the contracts. We can maintain the standard templates for all. We can manage the negotiations workflow. We can also get the milestone alerts of the various milestones which have been set in the various clauses of a contract with the suppliers. And we can also link the contract clauses to the supplier performance with notification. For example, the price compliance is there or not with the invoices which are being punched into the systems, and also the deliveries and quantity PPMs, quality PPMs, which we were expecting from the suppliers have been written down on the contracts, and also the penalty clauses, if any. So the linkage of the contract clauses with the supplier performance gives a very good insight of or of uh, the compliance of the contract terms. And then it can also be followed by the auto contract renewals in future, and it can also be converted into a smart contracts. Yeah, so that can be alerts on the index pricing, penalties, and renewals. So the the digital tool which will be used will be AI based contract analytics and solutions. Third, coming to e-sourcing. So when we talk about e-sourcing, it is majorly a supply selection or defining the requirements first and conducting a requirement for X, that is RFX, RFIs, RFQs. Then there can be a auto AI quotation tool. Yeah, so and there can be also a report of the evaluation of suppliers and optimizing the bids and conducting the e-auctions real time. So this tool can be used for both for direct as well as indirect sourcing. Yeah, and the artificial intelligence tools, AI tools, will be used here for digitalization of this. So this covers the S2C cycle part of it. Now coming to the P2P, that's procure to pay cycle, we have e-procurement, wherein we can maintain the e-catalogs, search the approved suppliers, punch out to supply catalogs, and create the requisitions automatically as per the requirements. Yeah, and that's all for the indirect sourcing. And if I talk about the direct sourcing, it can be automatic sensing the material demand and create the requisition on its own, and also creating the auto creating POs and replenishing the deliveries from the suppliers. So that can be done by the various AI tools and the various machine learning tools which can support the entire e-procurement process and improve the efficiencies. Second is e-invoicing. So when the material comes to the factory or any outlet centers, so invoice automation can also be done, yeah, with the artificial intelligence or a machine learning, and it's a cognitive. So it also validates the invoices before it is being posted to the ERPs. So this tool can be connected to your ERPs very well, wherein you can automate the invoicing part of it, and you can also manage the discrepancy resolution, and the payment approvals can be done on auto mode, as well as we can set it to the manual mode in case we require some changes there, so it can be customized as per that. Then third one is the e-payables. So once the invoicing, auto invoicing has been done, so yeah, we can also trigger the electronic payments as per the outcome of the invoicing. We can also implement the third-party payment programs. We can also do automated secure payments, dynamic discounting solutions in case it is required as per the tailored cut solutions. And this can all be done by the blockchain, which is a digital solution again. So then the fourth thing is service procurement. So if you want to manage the requisition workflow, benchmark the rates, and maintain the service agreements for a long term, like SLAs, track time and approval workflow. This can all be done with the process automation and the RPA process, which is robotic process automation, to eliminate the repetitiveness. Then also in the downstream, we can have a supplier onboarding portals with a master data management, supply self-service, supplier registrations, audit reports uploading, supply category reporting, financial Z-score results, customer details, revenue, group companies. So this is supply onboarding and an information portal which can be created in the system with the virtual assistant and the chatbots. So there can be a auto onboarding of the suppliers with the help of a chatbot, which can ask the questions to the suppliers, and they can self-register them as per the answers which they provide into the questionnaire. So after covering the S2C as well as the P2P cycle, yeah. So now let's talk about the supplier management. So as we said previously that if we apply the digitalization to the supplier lifecycle management, and we apply the tools to it, we will always expect it to be more proactive, yeah, rather than a reactive sourcing. So if we have the details of the market intelligence and the industry cost benchmarking which can be done in initial stages, it can also have the supply performance which can be tracked, yeah, and that scorecard can be automated in the system. And then further, this supplier performance tracker can get connected uh, to your strategies, long-term strategies, and we can also uh, see that related to your supplier performance, how the share of business as per the spend analytics can be changed so that we take a good proactive decisions at the right times. Yeah. Also, the satisfaction surveys can be done with the digitalized tools. Yeah, we can also monitor the risk. Moreover, the market intelligence of demand versus supply gap can always be triggered through it, and the mitigation plans can be prepared in advance. Uh, Now, we can take an example of the last few years where there was a lot of supply and demand gaps due to the pandemic, which has hit the entire globe. And the repercussion of that pandemic was there were the shortages of the supplies, and there was a big imbalance. And if those could be predictive, more predictive in terms of the predictions with the various countries, like say for example, if we are buying copper from Chile, and the major hub of copper production globally is Chile, and we knew that the production of Chile has stopped in advance. We could have gone for hedging of copper, or maybe forward buying of copper in advance. Similarly, we know that China is a big producer of uh, aluminium, and we got to know that due to geopolitical reasons, they were not getting the coal from Australia or ingots from Malaysia, Indonesia, and they were also taking some decisions of moving the factories from the cities or from near to cities to suburbs area, and there was a lot of energy crisis in China due to which the factories were not running to their full capacities. If this information was available in advance and with that predictive analysis, uh, and with the market intelligence, the decisions could have been taken that you could have secured your supplies, one, and then you could have not been hit by the commodity inflation to your products which you're manufacturing. So these are the simple examples of the predictive analysis and the proactive approach which can be taken for the supply management and the risk management going forward. So this is all for explaining the benefits of the digitalizations of source to pay cycle. My name is Rahul, and we'll be coming up with the next topic soon. Thanks for your time. Thanks a lot.